What are three things that you need to figure out right now? Pag-usapan natin yan in this new Trying Hard podcast episode. Alright, welcome to a new episode of the Trying Hard with Lyqa podcast. At nandito pa rin tayo, still trying our hardest to survive, to thrive, to help people along the way. Tuloy lang tayo. Okay? So, three things you need to figure out right now. Pag-uusapan natin yan ngayon. And a bit of intro muna. This concept, itong idea na to na having these three things na nakasulat sa totoo, na nakasulat sa notebook. Kung gusto nyo ipa-frame, ilagay nyo sa kwarto ninyo, pwede rin. It's actually an idea na more than 10-year-old na sa aking journal. No? So, yung pinaka-roots nitong podcast episode na to, medyo luma na siya. It's an old journal entry. An old thing that I used to share with my friends. And naisip ko lang, hindi ko pa pala na-share sa Trying Hard. So, yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Now, for those of you who are just new to this podcast, this is where we get down to the nitty-gritty, to the painful things, to the real things, to who I am behind the content that I produce. So it really gets personal. So if in case at any point you feel maybe this is not for me, again, you're free to walk away. You don't need to know who I am. You don't need to listen to this. You don't need to agree to everything I say. But I feel like this conversation is something that we need to have. Yun lang. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this. I'm not saying this because I'm any better than any of you. Sa totoo lang, I'm sharing this because I know I'm not. I'm one of the worst, sabihin natin, in many aspects, including my temper, including my inability to move past certain things, in the way that I take things so seriously sometimes na it sends me into a downward spiral. Like all of these things, those are things I'm still working on. No? But, itong structure na to, ng three things you need to figure out right now, these could help serve as your guardrails, serve as your kumbaga bakod para when you are in situations na tempting, or situations na put in question yung inyong values, yung standard, yung principles ninyo, meron kang kahit papaano way na bumalik sa kung sino ka ba talaga or sa sino mo ba talaga gusto maging. Okay? So we're going to dig deep here. If wala ka pang pen and paper right now, you may want to grab yung inyong pen and paper and start taking down notes kasi this is not just a conversation. This is an exercise, a workshop, an activity of sorts. Na pag-uusapan ngayon. Now, the first question right now is, what are things you will never do? Okay? Pwede natin i-personalize yung tanong, what are things I will never do? Now, why am I asking this question? Kasi sometimes, di ba, we go around watching people, seeing what they say, di ba, hearing what they say, seeing how they behave, and we would say, how could they be like that? How could they do something like that? Sobrang, I will never do that. I will never be like that. But the thing is, a lot of these people, they started out with little things. They started out with little compromises here and there. And the reason why, eventually, di ba, naging ganito, or it got worse, or it got to this level, was because nagkaroon ng mga maliliit, di ba, mga yeses, mga no's, mga turn a blind eye here and there. Tapos eventually, naging mas madali na lang to do something. So, una pa lang, kahit wala pa tayong opportunity to do these things, maganda if you write the things that you will never do. Okay, now I'll share some of the things in my list. Number one, I would never cheat. So, I would never cheat. Now, that includes cheating as in sa test. No? So, hindi ko talaga siya thing. Lalo na later in my life, no? Talagang, ano ba? It doesn't sit well with me. Not with my values, not with what I'm trying to teach my students. Parang sobrang, sa akin, no, ang disingenuous nung magtuturo ka tapos ikaw mismo nang gulaya. So, ayoko nang ganun. No ako sa cheating. So, that's one of the things I would never do. Cheat. Hindi rin ako mag-cheat as in sa partner, sa romantic partner, sa boyfriend. Hindi ako mag-cheat. Bakit? Kasi I experienced that before. So, my ex-boyfriend used to cheat. I would forgive him. Tapos, next time, meron naman siyang bagong honey mustard, bagong ka-text, bagong ganyan. So, I know how painful it is to be cheated on. So, I would never cheat. So, that's one of the things in my list. I would never do that. Another thing is, I'm looking at my list now, I would never steal. Sabi ko, hindi ako magnanakaw. Now, yung magnanakaw na yan, ito yung description ko sa kanya. So, hindi lang siya stealing money or stealing anything as in physical, no? Hindi magnanakaw ng gamit. Hindi eh. I would never steal actual riches or actual money. I would also never steal opportunities from other people. So, when I say opportunities from other people, it's from something as small as cutting yung line. Alam niyo yun? Singit ka sa pila. Sobrang hindi. Ayoko talaga nun. And kahit nga yung privilege, yung privilege lane, priority lane, ayoko rin gumagamit nun. And some people would say it's okay. Minsan meron talaga ganun, courtesy lane, di ba? Pwede kang dumaan doon. Okay. Kaya, lalo na when I was already coaching people sa civil service exam, sometimes they would, kasi syempre gusto nilang makabawi, gusto nila to make me feel special. Some people would say, Coach, whenever you come here or whenever you fly or whenever you visit, whenever, let me know, di ba? Tulungan kita. May kailangan ba sa papeles? Let me know. And, yun, sobrang hindi ko siya gusto. Kasi sa akin, any special thing that they give me is stealing opportunity from other people. So I would much rather stay in line. Pipila ako. Even if sometimes, and again, there were a few times na ganito, na the person in the counter, behind the glass, na-recognize ako. Na before, hindi ko na-recognize. Kasi sometimes they would call me, Coach, halika dito. Halika, unahin na natin. And I would say, no. So, and some of them, hintayin na lang natin sila magkwento sa inyo. Pero yun, I've never been comfortable with that. I would never steal opportunity from other people. Another thing is stealing opportunity as in, diba, sa politics ng opisina minsan, di ba ganun? Parang, kaya sa politics ng opportunities, speaking engagements, parang, ay, si ganyan, ganito, ita-trash talk mo para nakuha mo yung opportunity. Hindi ko yung gagawin, precisely because naging biktima na tayo ng ganyan. May mga cases na gano'n, parang sa akin, hindi ako willing to get dirty like that. So I would never steal opportunity. The third thing I would never steal is credit or glory. No? If someone wrote this, I would quote them. If at any, ito lang yung medyo tricky na part, no? And actually, this is one of the reasons why I'm not into self-help books. And alam na yung Zandy yan, alam din ng friends ko to. Kasi ang fear ko is, baka mamaya may sulat ako or may masabi ako. Tapos, quote siya from something else. No? Kasi na-inspire pala ako ng isang book that I read. Nabasa ko pala yun somewhere. Akala ko lang thought ko, hindi pala. Sobrang maingat ako dun. So, it's actually one of the reasons why I don't read self-help books. Para no one can tell me na, oh, hindi, nakuha mo lang yan kay John Maxwell, nakuha mo yan kay ganito, kay ganyan. I don't even know a lot of names. Nabasa mo lang yan kay ganyan kasi sabi niya ganito. Like, I would be able to tell you to your face na hindi ko siya kinuha kasi hindi ko siya nabasa. So, kasi very careful ako doon. Kasi nga, lagi rin nananakaw yung gawa ko. So, alam ko yung pakiramdam. No? In fact, meron tayong conversation ito, di ba? Yung to the Lavinas out there sa mga trying hard copycat na pag-usapan natin earlier. So, that's one of the things I'm very careful na. Kung kukuha man ako ng quote, i-quote ko yung nagsabi. Hanggat kaya ko, no? Hanggat alam ko. Basta alam ko na hindi akin yung quote ko. Sa glory din, I don't steal glory. Ibig sabihin, I keep telling you this, all this is for Him, by Him, through Him, who gives me strength. Wala akong ampag dito, I'm just an instrument. Kumbaga, grasya lang talaga ng Panginoon. Nakatayo pa ako, nagsasalita pa ako, nandito pa ako sa earth. So, none of this is mine. None of the things that, sabihin natin, other people would say I was able to accomplish was mine. In fact, never ko nga na-imagine I'm going to be in front of you today. Hindi to ginusto, hindi ko hinabol, hindi ko hinangad. Pero I was given this, and so now my charge is to make the most of this opportunity, to use the gifts I was given to its utmost potential. That's all I'm trying to do. Funny lang din kasi, you know how sometimes people would say things, even if they don't know you. Like, a few days ago, I saw someone saying na parang, ano daw ako, matagal ko, gusto ko lang naman kasi talagang sumikat. Gusto mo kasi sumikat, gusto mo maging relevant, gusto mo know it all daw ako, na gusto ko kasi maraming makakilala sa akin. Tapos at first, di ba, medyo hurtful talaga siya kasi parang, you don't know me. Pero dun sa second look ko sa kanya, the reason why I knew I didn't need to take it seriously was precisely because of that. Because that person didn't know me. Kasi anyone who knew me would know that having so many people know me is the worst thing for me, possibly. Hindi ko siya hinangad, hindi ko siya ginusto. I'm the type of person, I would rather be a private person. Ang dream ko is not to be known everywhere. Hindi ko gustong, actually never, sabihin ko na to, no? I never run for politics, for office, no? Wala yan sa isip ko. Wala, no? I would much rather help as a private individual. Ang pangarap ko sa buhay, hindi to be on stage. Ang pangarap ko is to have a little cottage somewhere and have time to read the books I haven't had time to read. I want to have time to write my own thoughts. I want to have time to paint, to sculpt, to do art. My dream is that, to have a self-sustainable home, maybe a little farm sa backyard, maybe kids running around, have time with my dog. That's the ideal situation for me. Not the glitz and glamour of being on stage in front of so many people, being famous and that was never the goal. Side effect lang siya of what I'm doing. So again, I'm not here to steal credit. Those are things I would never do. There are a few more, but again, those are just examples. So think about yours. What are things you will never do? Okay, you will never do. Now, the second question is this. What are things you will never say? You will never say, ibig sabihin, hindi niyo sasabihin, hindi niyo isusulat. No? You can put even specifics doon. I would never say this word to any person. I would never say this phrase to any person. Sa akin, I used to teach din ito sa mga estudyante ko, lalo na sa internet safety, sa bullying, sa anti-bullying, cyberbullying. Lagi kong, ito yung personal standard ko. I will never say anything to anyone that I cannot say or I will not say in front of them. Hindi ko yun, one of the things I will never say is anything that I'm not willing to tell that same person to her face. And I've been like that for a long time, even before I became Coach Lyqa, or this person who creates content. Alam ng mga kaibigan ko yan, alam ng mga dati kong kaibigan yan, alam ng mga people in my life yan. I'm the type of person na, okay, if I say something that you feel is rude, parang, okay, criticism towards another person, I would tell them. Actually, usually I would tell them first. No? I would only bring a witness if I feel na, okay, itong person ito, maki-spin nito. Kasama yun, siguro sa pagiging INTJ ko rin. Pero I would tell you up front, I would tell it to your face. So, I'm not the type of person who will say bad things behind your back. I would just tell it to your face. Tell it straight. One of the things nga, lagi ko sinasabi is, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And I try not to be mean when I say it. And it's the same thing. So, those are things I will never say. Some other examples of things I will never say. Diba, alam niyo na yan, I hate using the word BOBO. If anything, gusto ko mabura siya sa vocabulary natin as a nation. Mawala yung word na yan. Kasama na natin yung TANGA na word. Like, I don't want to say that. I would sometimes say the word, just kasi para maintindihan ng kausap ko or para lang sabihin na huwag niyo sabihin yun. Like, meron akong video on YouTube where I said, diba, walang BOBO, tamad, marami. Like, there are moments like that. No? Ayoko naman kasi mamaya may makikinig dito sa sabihin. Sabi niya, hindi daw siya sasabi nun. Pero ito, sinabi niya sa YouTube. It's not like that, no? Pero I would never call anyone like that word. Hindi ko sasabihin sa kahit kanina yan. And the roots of that is very personal to me. So let me just share a quick anecdote and try not to cry. The reason why I don't want to use that word against anyone or to describe anyone or tawagin silang ganun is because I grew up surrounded by people who believed that they were that when it's not true. And I've seen it destroy their lives. I have an aunt whom I love very much, the sweetest, kindest person you probably know. Someone who would feed you, no? Kapag ikaw tumambay ka kasama niya, tataba ka talaga. She's the kindest person, one of the kindest person I know. Gentle giant siya. And she would always say that, kasi B.O.B.O. lang ako. Kasi matagal na bata pa ako, B.O.B.O. lang. And it breaks my heart. Again, I'm growing up with her. Seeing her limiting thoughts about herself just because naniwala siya. Sinabihan siya ng teacher niya nung bata siya. Naniwala siya. So when it came time for the family to prioritize needs, hindi na siya nagtapos ng pag-aaral. And hindi because hindi niya kaya. I don't believe hindi niya kaya eh. Pero sabi niya, yung mga kapatid ko na lang kasi ako, ito ako, ganito lang ako eh. So nakita ko how damaging it is for people na masabihan na B.O.B.O. sila. Tapos maniwala na ganun sila. My grandma, whom I love very much, you already know that if you listen to the podcast, also had those thoughts. And I was telling my friends last week, sabi ko, alam mo yun, hindi ko pa rin ma-wrap yung head ko around that. I've been trying to convince my lola na hindi siya ganun. Kasi she knows almost all the northern languages. Marunong siya magkapampangan, marunong siya mag-Ilocano, marunong siya mag-Pangalatok. Yun, marunong siya, fluent siya, kahit saan mo siya dalhin sa north. No? Marunong siya makipag-usap sa mga tao. Alam niya yung languages na yun. Ako nga, I only have Filipino and English, a little bit of onting patak ng Kapampangan, tsaka onting patak ng Bisaya. Mali-mali pa, di ba? Siya, alam niya yun lahat, pero she thinks that she's like that. That's one of the reasons. Malalim sa akin yun, very personal. I don't like people calling other people B.O.B.O. And dahil nga adult learners na nitutunan sa civil service, nakita ko rin sa kanila eh. And they would tell me and call themselves B.O.B.O. And that's one of the things I push na ma-unlearn nila. So that's one of the things I would never say. Okay? Now, another thing I would never say, nabasa ko na yung notes ko. Since I was a kid ito, I would never say sorry when I'm not at fault. And the reason why was there's this book, and it's called Zinc. I'm not sure if you will ever find this book again, but sabihin lang natin, nakita ko siya sa discount pile ng book sale, sabihin na natin. Book sale they can. Pero it's called Zinc. So it's a novel about a little girl na may leukemia. And may isa sa mga story arcs doon is yung fact na this little girl will always say sorry kahit hindi niya kasalanan. And kinorekt siya dun sa book na yun. Mga zebra. Medyo weird yung premise ng book. I'm not going to share it, but if you ever find it, it's a good read. And after reading that book, that was when I realized na gawain ko rin to. Actually, hanggang ngayon, I struggle with this. So I'm saying I will never say it, but I've been dealing with it personally din. Kasi first, automatic reaction ko pa rin yun na whenever may mangyayari, kahit hindi ko fault, uy, sorry, ganyan. Pero through the years, my friends, the people around me have been teaching me din na you don't need to do that. Diba? Only say sorry when you know that you're at fault, when you realize that you are at fault. And we also have an episode where I talk to you about how to say sorry, right? And one of the reasons why we need to learn how to say sorry is para when we say it, we mean it. And yun yung reason why I would never apologize if I'm not at fault. Ang rule of thumb ko is this: if I say something and what I said hurt you, I would apologize. But if I said something and you misunderstood what I said, and I tried to explain what I was trying to say, and you deliberately misunderstand me again, kasi hindi ka makikinig sa explanation, kasi hindi naman talaga yung sinabi ko, and you feel hurt, that's no longer my fault. So it took so long for me to get to this point na I am able to stand by the things I said, stand by what I mean, and if people, diba, deliberately misunderstand what I'm trying to say, and felt hurt by their own misinterpretation of what I'm saying, then wala na akong magagawa. It's not my fault. But if I really said something, and what they, di ba, na-offend sila by what I mean, or ano talaga yung sinabi ko, I will take ownership over that. Pero if hindi naman yung sinabi ko, tapos pinin nyo na, that's not my fault. So again, I will never say sorry when I'm not at fault. That's one of the things I will never say. So yung first two questions are that. The last point is, what are things that would make you break those first rules? Okay, ulitin ko yan. What are the things that will make you break those rules? Ano yung mga bagay na mapipilitan ka na kung ano yung sinulat mo sa number 1 at sa number 2, talikuran mo or hindi mo gagawin. Now, some of you may say, walang ganon kasi nga, nag-promise nga ako na I will never do that I will never say that Pero, again, no, I am not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not here to set unrealistic expectations in you. I'm here to tell you the truth. And the truth is, everyone has a price. Now, I know masakit pakinggan yan, but I've been saying this again and again sa Twitter ko specifically for years, actually decades na nga yata. Kailan ba ako nag-Twitter? 2011 pa yata ako nag-Twitter, so more than a decade na. No? Na everyone has a price. And yung iba lang hindi pera. I would like to believe that my price hindi pera. I've had the opportunity to prove that multiple times. Receiving offers, di ba, na offer to do this, to do that, o mag-endorse ka ng product na hindi mo gusto, mag-endorse ka ng candidate na hindi mo gusto. Ito yung presyo, no? Papayaran ka namin. I've had opportunities to say no to that. So I can say this with at least, di ba, confidence, no? Right now in my life. Hindi pera yung dahilan para i-break ko yung promise ko yun, na i-break ko yung word ko. Money won't make me steal things. Money won't make me cheat. Money won't make me say things I don't want to say. But one thing that would force my hand to do this, and again, lahat tayo, I believe lahat tayo may presyo. Sana lang hindi pera. Yun lang yung wish ko. Sana ikaw na nakikinig, yung presyo mo hindi pera. Hindi yung, pag binigyan kita ng 500 billion, diba? Ano na, kunin mo na lahat, magnakaw ka na, mag-cheat ka na, iwanan mo na lahat ng mahal mo sa buhay. Sana hindi pera ang presyo niyo. Sa akin, personally yan, the only thing that would make me or convince me to turn on my word, that would force me to call someone B.O.B.O. when that's really against my creed, the one thing that would force me to say sorry even if I'm not at fault, or to thank people that didn't contribute kahit na ayoko rin nun, sobrang ayaw na nun, is this, my loved one's safety. And that is my price. No? If someone holds a gun to my sister's head and says, oh, sige, kung hindi mo papasalamatan si ganito for everything you did, hindi mo gagawin to because of that, na in danger ng family mo, in danger ng loved ones mo, or kahit nga hindi loved ones ko, kahit any stranger out there, maybe, okay, that's the one thing, no, na that would have me turn on my promises, on my earlier statements. And you need to figure it out for yourself and by yourself. Kasi hindi tayo lahat. And iba-iba tayo. And I'm not here to judge you kung ano yung presyo mo or kung ano yung dahilan kung bakit mag-break mo yung promises mo. Pero I think it's a good exercise for who you are, what your values are, for your sense of morality. No? Kasi other people would say, hindi, okay lang yan kasi the end justifies the means. Okay lang yan kasi pag nakuha mo yung pera, di ipamigay mo para makatulong ka. There will be people like that. And I'm not here to judge them. I'm just saying I can't be one of those people. Kasi hindi ako makakatulong. But if you say, okay, we'll do bad things to this group of people, if you don't do this, there's a possibility I will break. Now, at risk of my life, I've had time to figure that out then recently. I don't think I'm as afraid if it's going to be my own life. But if it's other people's lives, because of me, my choices, baka pa. So again, 3 things you need to figure out right now. And write this down. Kasi you need to hold yourself accountable dito sa mga sinabi mo, sa mga susulat mo. Hindi ako ganyan. The next time you're tempted, the next time you have the opportunity, pwede kang babalik sa utak mo yung, hindi sinulat ko hindi ako mag-cheat. Sinulat ko hindi ako mag-lie. Sinulat ko, hindi ako mambobola. Kung naisulat mo yan, kung yan talagang credo mo, yun ang creed mo, yun ang prinsipyo mo as a person, it will be your shield sa future. It will at least give you peace in making hard decisions in life. Kesa yung pagdating mo dun mo na lang ma-realize na hindi pala. And then after the fact, no ka magsisisi. Okay? 3 questions. What are the things you will never do? What are the things you will never say? And what are the things that will make you turn your back on those promises you made? Medyo mabigat, no? Ganyan tayo, Trying Hard with Lyqa. So, if you want to join the conversation, go ahead and check out the Trying Hard with Lyqa podcast community. I would love to hear your thoughts there. I'll be posting up a few prompts here and there doon. Pag-usapan natin yan. I-proseso natin yan. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be hard. But I'm hoping may nakuha kayo sa episode nito. If you feel this is helpful, you can share it with your friends. Share it with other people. Don't forget to follow if you're interested to hear more. Kasi we have more episodes coming up. And thank you for everyone who rated us with 5 stars sa podcast. It's Apple Podcast. And I appreciate all of you. As we always say in this podcast, dream big, work hard, start now. And don't be afraid to be called trying hard. Kaya yan. I'll see you next time. Bye.